Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 386. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Welcome, listeners and viewers, to episode 386. Whew, we're getting up there. We are discussing 400. I don't know if you guys have talked about that in the podcast the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry I've been out, but... so I don't know if you mentioned that, but we've been...
We've had some thoughts and stuff, but...
For those listening and viewing, we're discussing stuff, maybe a fundraiser. I'm not trying to put us in our spot, but I'm hoping we can do that. We're trying to work something out. So
let us know what you want to see.
Yeah. We're working on some stuff, and we want to do something cool. So let us know. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Let us know what you think, or you can comment on our videos on Facebook, even like Twitter. You can talk to us on Twitter, direct message, or whatever you want. Just let us know what you want to see from us for 400, because it's coming up quick. Like Tony, you say it every time. We're like, well, we'll get to it, and then next thing you know is next week. I
was like, guys, it's like 6 months, and now it's like, oh, guys, it's in 3 months.
Yeah. It just comes up so quick. All right. The only thing I'm going to be away is the first week of July, so that's the only thing we have to worry about. And I think it's coming up around there. But
I might have a little trouble, but
we'll figure it out. We'll get it figured out for the weekends. All right, let's get into the movie cast here. We have the box office to get into here first, and no surprise here at number one still. The most surprising movie I think you can say of all time, in terms of what it's done in the box office. How
quickly it got to where it's gotten to is pretty remarkable.
I mean, Black Panther is obviously number one. It crossed $1 billion last week. It is a wrecking ball of Marvel fury, I guess I can say. That's the best thing. I mean, it is. It really is. It's remarkable how well this movie is done. And there's people talking about how it could be up for Best Picture next year.
Even Christopher Nolan said that.
I saw your reaction, but I think it's got a shot this time.
No, I mean, it could get nominated, sure. But it's got no shot of winning. Just because something does well financially means nothing to the Academy. It means it's negative to the Academy at this point.
Didn't Lord of the Rings take Best Picture the last movie?
The last one.
Return of the King, but it took three tries.
I think we can finally see it with a superhero movie. I think we can. I mean, it's up against... There's going to be obviously some artsy films and stuff. But I think we could actually see that. But yeah, that was number one. It did $41 million. And 40.9, but $41 million over the weekend.
The fourth weekend. That's crazy.
Yeah, fourth week.
It is outpacing... It went ahead of The Dark Knight, I believe, now. Wow. Amazing. Domestic. I think it's domestic. That's that. Let's see. Number two is A Wrinkle in Time at $33.1 million.
Is that a failure at that number?
They weren't projecting a lot for it. I actually haven't read my little Reddit thing I follow usually for box office stuff for that. I've been following Black Panther, and then...
The studio was expecting $35 million, so just slightly under.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
It's a miss, sort of, but not bad.
We'll see what it does next week, I guess.
Yeah. The Strangers, Pray at Night at number 3, Red Sparrow, and Game Night, which I heard Game Night was actually a lot of fun.
That's what I heard, too.
So that's something to check out. Opening this week...
Yeah, we talked about last week, too, Jim. Those guys are going to do the Flash movie.
Interesting. I did not know that. Okay. That's... Okay. It's getting pretty good reviews. That's not bad. We have, I think, 2 movies opening this week, right? Or is it next week? Is
I think
Ready Player One? Is Ready Player One the 24th?
I think so.
Is it
this week? I know it's soon.
I think Tomb Raider's soon too. Tomb Raider's this week. I know that. Yeah.
I know that last week we were thinking of upcoming movies and we completely forgot about Ready Player One for some reason.
Yeah, you know what's
Seems
funny?
Like sort of whoever is it Paramount who's putting that or Warner Brothers? I think it's Warner Brothers. Yeah, I haven't seen much marketing for it
I've seen a lot of ads. Maybe it's from
more earlier, not much lately.
I don't watch a lot of live TV. I watch a lot of the Roku, the apps and
stuff. I don't.
But when I watch the apps, almost every app that I watch, when it goes to those commercial breaks they have in the apps, they show Ready Player One. It's been doing it for me for the last 2 weeks. So I'm sure it's cookies and stuff that knows how my browsing history. I'm like, this is a guy who might be interested in it. So they put it towards me, but. Yeah, opening this week is Tomb Raider. I'm not trying to rush past that, but I don't think any of us are expecting anything amazing for this movie.
Yeah, we kind of mentioned it last week and how it's probably going to be a failure.
Yeah, I think that 50%
It's got a lot going against it right now.
50% is not terrible for a video game movie, but it will be number 2 or maybe number 3 this week behind. I think Black Panther takes number 1 again, 5th week in a row.
Well, I don't see Tomb Raider knocking it off now.
Yeah. The one I wanted to talk about real quick, though, is Ready Player One, because I have been skeptical about this movie for a long time, and word's coming out now that Spielberg is a magician. Like, he is, which we knew, but apparently this movie is supposed to be a lot of fun and really enjoyable. That's what I've heard from a lot of people.
If it's got the spirit of the book in it, then that's what matters, because it's all about just like the Easter egg stuff, and like if they can capture that in a movie form, regardless of like the extra characters that they've been putting in and changing the story up a little bit, I think then it can be good. Because I really enjoyed the book, and I'm excited to see what they do, because there's a lot of stuff. Obviously, they're making it more modern for us, because Tracer and stuff like that's not going to be, that wasn't in the book, but yeah,
there's a lot of pop culture references that aren't in the book that I saw in the trailer, but and as someone who read the book, that annoys me, but as long as the movie's fun, I think it would be okay. And Spielberg is very good. I mean, seriously.
He can be. Yeah. I mean, he can be like you said, he can be a magician, and then sometimes he can put like
he could put a crystal skull on you.
Yeah.
It's been a little while for him.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, like, early reactions I've heard about this from multiple sources now, it's been that it's actually very enjoyable. So,
well, it was a good book.
Yeah.
So they capture that the spirit of the story.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering what the interest is really going to be as far as.
I think this is a kind of movie, Mike, that I think sells on the nostalgia and the Spielberg name. I think that's why it's going to do pretty decently. It'll actually.
It's weird matchup though. Like, you don't think of Spielberg when you think of Ready Player One.
It's the week after. You're right. It's the week after this, obviously. So they've actually picked an excellent week to launch, because and you didn't know this beforehand, but the hype of Black Panther is they can finally take number 1 spot. It's open for the grab. Black Panther on its 6th week at that point will not be able to hold number 1. No. It would be remarkable, but they picked a good week, is what I'm saying. So we'll see. We'll see what it does. All right, let's get into some movie news. How about that? Mike, I put this on here only for you. I mean,
yeah. I didn't open the thing yet, so
it's a bunch of things. Joss Whedon has no plans right now to reboot Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but Fox apparently does. Fox sees it as a very important property, and they have talked. Apparently, there's had been minor talks to him about doing it. The thing is, I remember about this whole thing is, doesn't he have a terrible relationship with Fox? After the whole
terrible relationship,
I don't think it's terrible. I think
everyone he's talked to.
It's just a matter of fact that they've screwed his shows up like multiple times.
Yeah, they have. They aired Dollhouse.
Joss Whedon's had problems with pretty much every studio he's dealt with in his career.
Yeah, but Fox canned his Firefly like in 6. They canned it real quick. They basically sent it off to die.
One season,
and then Dollhouse was apparently aired out of order, right, Corey?
Oh, Firefly was aired out of order.
Oh, okay, both were. So they've screwed with his show a lot, and the way he shoots things, it's done that way for a reason. But so they're very interested in a Buffy reboot, and I mean, Mike, would you be interested in a reboot? As a fan, I want to know if you'd be interested.
It'd be funny if they made a movie based off the show that was based off the movie.
Not a hard reboot. I remember they were talking about an animated show for a while too, and that fell through.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. Not really. I mean, the thing about a reboot is between like 2 shows and like comic books and everything, they've created a verse. There's a Buffy verse. And are you going to reboot that whole thing just so you can like start with new actors? I don't know.
That's the thing. They have the comic books going. They have all that stuff going. And that would be, kind of null and void at that point. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that reboot idea.
You want to see a return of Sarah Michelle Gellar then?
Sure, why not? She's not doing anything else. She thought she'd be this big superstar by now, and nothing's happened since.
Nope. All right. Kristen Wiig. I wasn't certain when this news came out, but I was trying to time it right. So I don't know if you guys had talked about any of this last week, but
no, this was not out.
Not on the podcast.
She's been. I know we've talked about it before, but so she has now been confirmed as Cheetah in Wonder Woman 2, which will be the villain role, obviously, for that movie.
That's neat that Cheetah's going to be the villain.
I'm happy Cheetah's going to be the villain.
I don't understand Kristen Wiig as Cheetah.
I don't know, but I'm trying to think of like a character that's not usually a villain, like a actor. I want to say that this is going to be. Listen, I'm not saying this was a good movie. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad movie. It was just an enjoyable movie. But the new Power Rangers movie, I didn't think what's her name was bad as Rita Repulsa. You know what I mean? Repulsive or whatever her name is. She wasn't bad. And that was
the movie was fine. We talked about it before Power Rangers.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's a role that I would never picture her in. And this is the same idea here. It could be good. Is what I'm saying. It could be good.
Could be. Yeah.
I mean,
I think a Wonder Woman role might need a little more like seriousness than a Power Rangers role, though. I just feel like you can ham that role up and it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But,
well, that was more of a serious toned movie, though, that Power Rangers. So it really wasn't, It
was a much more serious Rita than I was expecting.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think. I don't know. And who's the actress that did that? I can't remember who that was. Who was the actress that played?
Oh man, I know her. I can't
it's driving me crazy. I don't know.
You're talking about. Now you knocked her name out of my head. I know her name all the time.
Yeah, I mean, she's always in those roles.
She's in. Yeah, she was. In 40-year-old version, Zach and Miri make a porno. Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
There we go. Just say the names of movies she's in, and it'll come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't know. I think it's sort of strange because I think of Cheetah as is a dangerous character because her concept is sort of ridiculous to begin with. And most of what I know from Cheetah is honestly from Injustice 2 and like a couple Justice League stories where
I know nothing about the character.
She's a foil. She's basically an Amazon who was cursed to be this like cheetah monster. So that's
the only reference I've ever seen from Cheetah is in Doom from the Justice League movie, the animated movie that came out. That's all I remember her from. So where she thought she was fighting Cheetah, but she was fighting Wonder Woman, or no, she was fighting. I forget who she was fighting, but somebody.
Yeah,
so.
Because she's basically supposed to be Wonder Woman's like foil, like a physical, sort of a match for her in a way. Which is why I think Kristen Wiig is a sort of a weird choice to be the physical match of Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
but
I think we'll see. All right, moving on. Let's see. We'll talk about the Jon Favreau news first. How he will be writing and producing a new live-action Star Wars show, which we've all been assuming with Disney's streaming service coming out that they're going to have something. I'm going to guess that this is it. Something to make you subscribe. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think of this news? I'm interested in this. I think I've always been interested in a live action Star Wars show. So
yeah, I mean, he could make it work. I mean, he was part of what made Iron Man.
Yeah, he started it. He started the whole Marvel universe essentially. He did. So he still shows up in those movies. He doesn't have a
Jon Favreau. You guys talking about? Obviously.
Yeah, starting the live action.
Yeah, he seems to be like Disney's boy right now. He's doing like those Jungle Book and Lion King movies, and
I just worry when I hear about this that if I were to get invested in it, it'll be treated like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is by the larger universe. So I'm just like,
It's not the same idea with Star Wars, though. Star Wars is like it's the entire galaxy. You know what I mean? Like it's just like
I heard that Rebels finished very well.
Huh?
They did a great.
Yeah, I heard. I got spoiled, but I don't care because it was a good thing.
I got spoiled too. I could not.
Actually, and that's the same thing. Even on those shows, all the fans are clamoring for a reference to one of the characters or something as minute as possible from Clone Wars and that show.
But they did all that. But they
don't though.
Yes, they did in Rogue One. In Rogue One, they did.
Okay.
The character, the character from the cartoon, the Rebels cartoon, was mentioned and then one of the characters was in it. Actually, wasn't Chopper in that?
Mm-hmm. Chopper was in it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good then. That's good.
So you do have that crossover. The thing is like you could do like a bounty hunter show, and it would just work. You don't have to do anything crazy over the top. You don't have to do Jedi. You don't have, you know what I mean? Like you can just make a Star Wars universe show, like we've talked about for a long. I've always thought about it. I think it would be awesome. Like I mean, it would get me to sign up immediately. Not that I wouldn't. Would probably with the Disney streaming service.
Well, I mean,
anyways.
if you do it after like Revenge of the Sith, then you have a good excuse why there are no Jedi. I mean,
sure.
You know, there are no Jedi in the universe.
Technically, Corey, you could do it right now. There's not many Jedi right now.
Sure. Yeah, you could do it after. I mean, you could do anything after Revenge of the Sith. I'm saying anytime.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
So,
I see what you're saying. Anytime after. Yeah.
Anytime after.
I thought you meant like immediately following or something, but yeah, you can do anything like that. I always thought that the my favorite would be to do something. Now this is different, but I would like to do the Tales of the Jedi kind of stuff. I would love to do that. Even though I just mentioned bounty hunters, but I'm going back to Jedi, but that was a cool story for me when I was reading them in the comic books. I would love to see something like that, but yeah, we'll get more details. I really think the streaming service is launching at the end of the year. I really do.
End of this year.
Yeah, I think it is.
I hope so. I mean, that'd be cool.
In some form, I definitely, even if it's just like a limited release beta.
Or like a beta or alpha run or something.
Yeah.
Sign up and get invited.
Yeah, I think we won't have the Star Wars show at that point, but we'll have, something up and running for them. So they're losing, in their mind, they're losing so much money right now. And obviously they bought Fox to get Hulu, that whole service. So I'm sure that's going to integrate with the whole thing, but
I don't know. I think they're going to be separate entities.
That has to go through anyways. It has to go. There's a long process for that. So it has to get
months
approved.
away.
Yeah, it's got to get approved and signed and done. And yeah, just because it's agreed upon doesn't mean it's going to go through. So, all right. We have also news that the upcoming Joker movie that we've talked about is going to have Joker as a failed comedian. This was posted on our Discord, right? So.
Yeah. So that's sort of the Killing Joke route, if the story we see in Killing Joke is supposed to be real.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure they're going to do the same exact thing, but it's been done, is what I'm saying before. So, can it be a Joker movie? Like, can you have just the villain in a movie? Like, we're going to get Venom.
Let's get to a little bit of what I've been up to. I caught up on Batman White Knight.
Oh, okay.
And that is fantastic. Probably one of the best Batman stories I've read in a long time. Probably like maybe up in top 3 right now, maybe. Wow. Batman stories.
Really?
All time. But the funny thing is it's more of a Joker story. And because it basically makes the Joker the hero and Batman the villain.
And if
they did something like that,
this
is really cool.
Is this in the DC like timeline, or is this like just a graphic novel separate thing?
It's what's cool. Actually, it's like it takes place not way in the future, but Batman's gone through a lot of shit and stuff, and it's Joker. He's Jack Napier Joker.
Oh, okay.
And he actually gets cured, and kind of does like an Incredibles thing where like Batman's just kind of losing it and like goes off on Joker a little bit, but then Joker gets cured from this whole encounter, and then he tries to be the White Knight for Gotham because Batman's just going too far. He's being too crazy. So he's trying to like rein Batman in. And it's like a fantastic story, and like that it's kind of standalone, but at the same time it does take place after Batman's been Batman for a while.
Well, yeah, but
and it's funny because like Joker is obsessed with Batman, and he's got like all this memorabilia like in this one scene. It's just like you see all this memorabilia of Batman, like from like animated series to the Nolan films to like it's really funny the references they have.
Is it part of the DC's
Rebirth thing?
Rebirth thing, is it like part?
No, I don't know.
It sounds like one of those sort of one-shot possible.
Yeah, is it more like
storylines?
Is it more like the Long Halloween and stuff like that?
It's more like that.
Okay.
Where it's like it's its own thing, but at the same time it takes place after Batman's been Batman for a while.
It's kind of like I would think something along the lines of Old Man Logan or The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
something
that's
like
fine. I'll read it then. I can buy that and not have to worry about what's going on in DC's universe.
Yeah, it's not finished yet. There's still 2 issues left.
Okay.
It's an 8-part miniseries. It was supposed to be 7, but they actually added 1 more.
Okay.
And it's fantastic. Like I said, it's really, really good, and the art is amazing.
Cool.
So
yeah, I'll pick that up soon then. Cool. All right. So this was the Killing Joke story. It could be good, but I mean,
like I said, it's like you gotta have something where these characters, it's meaningful for these characters.
Yeah.
And that's where I think DC's just trying to throw all these like iconic stories out at you and think, hey, remember this story? Everybody loved this plot line, but there's no like context to it.
No.
Right. It's like
there's no impact.
There's no feeling. You know, like
and that was my whole thing with Batman v Superman. It's like you're taking this iconic thing, and it's just kind of like, hey, all right, well, here's a ho-hum Superman and a version of Batman that you've never seen before. And my own personal feelings aside, like I just feel that sounded terrible, but to do such a different version of Batman and have it be introduced in that very same film, was just a risky idea. Completely risky.
No, and like I said last week, I'm starting to come around to Tony's philosophy a little bit, but at the same time, it's like I like this Batman because it is a different take, and it's something that we haven't seen before.
I don't see him as that different. I really don't. I just see him as later on in typical Batman's career.
That's Batman. How many Batmans have we seen later on? Like that's what I'm talking about. Like how long was
animated Batman seems pretty old most of the time. Arkham games Batman seems pretty old. The big screen we got. Dark Knight Rises.
Well, no, he's Batman for like 2 years.
Yeah, I know, but he's retired and he's old. They talk about him being retired and old.
But that's different. He has no history. There's no history. So in any case, I think that I like that, and I like what they did with White Knight and how they approach it there. Here, that's like you're taking one of the last stories. Like this is like his end. Like this is it for Batman basically. And now you're saying no, we're gonna start from here, which you could see where it could put you in a corner, like we said last week.
Yeah. All right, that's it for news. Let's get into what we've been up to. I mean, well, I haven't been on in a while, so it's been a lot of things show-wise I've been catching up on. I haven't watched the new Shield, episode 100 yet, though. That's the only thing I missed. I have been watching
The Comforts of Home. Was all the Comforts of Home the episode?
I don't remember what it was called, but it was like they had like so many like Hydra. Oh, did they not have 100 yet? Was it this week?
No, they had it because my brother, who I'm way behind on that as well. I've given up on that. But my brother said he saw it and that it was confusing to him, but good.
I mean, I've been watching. I've actually started going through The Punisher. For obvious reasons, because I can't watch the new season of Jessica Jones, I feel like, until I watch The Punisher. So I'm on episode 9 now of The Punisher, so I'm almost done. I've been going crazy on watching that.
What'd you think of the first 9 episodes?
I thought that the first 6 were kind of, they were okay. It was ho-hum for me. And I thought once episode 7 hit, where he was like, there was like an infiltration thing to get a guy, and then like that was where, for me, it started getting very interesting, and since then it's been excellent. So the last 2 episodes have been really good. So I'm looking forward to what they do with 9. So there's been some weird, like, awkward sexual tensions from the characters in that show that was just like, this would be really weird right now if this happens. But so the show's actually, it's not bad. It's fine. It's not, I wouldn't say it's amazing so far, but we'll see how it finishes. And then I want to watch Jessica Jones. So I've watched a couple episodes of Altered Carbon. I'm not done with that yet. But that's very good. I would recommend that. I'm on episode 8 for that. So there's only, I think, 10 episodes of that. So I'm almost done with that. I would recommend it. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I've been watching The Tick came back. That's funny. Like, that's a fun show because it's half an hour episodes, so you can just kind of go right through it. It's like, there's not all the jokes land, obviously. Not everything's going to land, but it's just such a better, I don't know, it's just a nice change of pace, I guess. It's like a nice, just fun show to watch kind of thing. I'm trying to think what else I've been seeing. I don't think I've been in the movies. There's really nothing out, right? So, I'm trying to see if there's anything else, but I think that's about it right now. It's been a busy week, so I haven't really been watching much TV.
Did you catch up on Voltron?
No, that's next for me. I'm trying to finish up Punisher, and then I'll probably go through Voltron and then go to Jessica Jones. That's the plan. How many episodes are in the Voltron season?
6 or 7.
Oh, good. Oh, great. So there's another one you can just kind of rip right through. So I'll definitely do that, and so I'll probably have that done by the next podcast, because you can just go right through it. But other than that, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. So, Corey, what have you been watching?
Well, I mentioned the Batman, The White Knight, which is a comic book, obviously highly recommended. But other than that, I did start watching Jessica Jones, but it was a little hard to pay attention to it just with the boys. So I think we got to like episode 3, Sonia and I, and it's a little weird.
That sounds like where I got to episode 3. I watched the first 3 episodes of Jessica Jones too.
Yeah, but it's interesting, I guess, because it's going into her like backstory, but at the same time, I'm not really too interested in her backstory.
No,
I've heard it starts off a lot slower. So
yeah, but I mean, yeah, we'll see. I love Jessica Jones, season 1. Like the character a lot, so I like to see more of her. But again, like backstory stuff is just not that interesting to me, especially when there's so much happening in this world. Like, let's get to what's going on in the present. Give me something future stuff instead of just having to rehash the past. So we'll see how it all plays out, but that's where I'm at with it right now.
Yeah, that's kind of. I've been doing that too. I think I watched 4 episodes maybe, but it's kind of weird. I mean,
that's
they're all on the same page.
Doesn't instill me with a lot of...
we miss Kilgrave, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was see, there it is. There's my point. Whole, again, the villains. The villains are so important.
Really weird too.
Yeah.
What's that?
Her deal with her. I don't want to spoil anything for Jim.
Oh.
She's got stuff she's dealing with.
Okay.
Oh, you said Hogarth?
Well, Hogarth.
Yeah, once again, I remember the first season. I'll talk about that because I feel like something similar is happening here. The first season, she had this whole storyline that I could not care less about. And then, like, she intersects with the real plot, like, for an episode or 2. And I'm like, was that worth all this time we spent on her? I don't think so. And she's not presented as, like, a likable character. So when, like, bad things happen to her, I'm not exactly, like, feeling it that much.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not sure, of course, we're early on, but it seems like they're sort of setting it up to do something similar with her again this season, where she has this whole B storyline going on, and how's it going to really matter to, like, Jessica Jones?
Yeah.
And is it worth all of this, like, time and effort we're spending looking at her? Because I didn't really think it was the first time. I thought she was the weak point of the first season.
That'll be interesting. I don't. I'm like, because that's my favorite. I think that was my favorite. Yeah. That was my favorite show. Yeah, I mean, Daredevil I've watched a few times.
More than Daredevil? I think you went back and forth.
I have. It's tough, but the villain is so good. I mean, I've got a soft spot for David Tennant, but what?
Definitely better than Kingpin, you think?
They're close, but I think he is. I mean, he's just such a psychological, like, torture, you know what I mean? Like, it's just such a cool villain, which is, what you said is lacking in this season so far, so that's what I was worried about, but we'll see. I'll get to it. What else, Corey? Anything else?
No, that's about it. So
right.
Nothing of note.
Oh, I've also seen the first 2 episodes of Everything Sucks on Netflix, which is 90s. Well, I thought it was going to be like, I had no idea.
Based off of like a manga or something, or comic?
Is it? I don't know. It's like a 90s drama for kids, teenagers. It's like about how there's like, first I thought it was going to be like a 90s nostalgia show. I'm like, this is kind of cool. I grew up around there. I was in high school. They go, their freshman year in high school is exactly when I went as a freshman in high school. So I was like, this is cool. So I can like directly relate to this. I can watch this and understand it. So I was watching it, and it's about like, it ends up being about like this girl who's gay, but in the 90s, early 90s. And it's just like not okay. Nobody understands it at all. And it's just like, that's really what it's about. And it's actually been good. The references are cool actually for the 90s stuff. And, it's good actually. It's actually entertaining. So it's I don't know. I'll keep watching it eventually. I just want to finish these other shows up, and I'll go back to it. But it's actually really good show. So more like impactful than I expected when I started. I had no idea what I was going to get into when I watched it. But so, Mike, what have you been watching?
Pretty much just those 3 episodes of Jessica Jones.
Okay.
I will say it's interesting enough where I'm looking forward to like getting back to it. It's not quite binge worthy at the moment, but I'll watch one per like day maybe, more or less if I have time. Okay. It is interesting because I am reminded a little bit of what I didn't like about the first season. Like I mentioned Hogarth. I also don't like most of the supporting cast, to be honest. I don't like her sidekick dude. I don't like the girl.
Malcolm.
Yeah. I don't know what he's like. He's just kind of there. I don't know. they've got to sell me on this a bit more going forward. But it does look like something more interesting is about to happen. So we'll see. Other than that, I've been back and forth to an apartment with no internet, so I've watched.
That's what happened to me. I mean, that really is what happened to me the week before with no power or no internet. I had power and no internet, which is weird. Like, you have power and you're like, I'm happy I have power, but...
yeah, the cable was out for like 2-3 days when the power was back.
It was out for... It came back Tuesday it came back. They're right before the...
You really rely on it so much.
You don't realize it. Like, you have power and you're like, what do I do? So... Yeah, it was nice to go into work actually and like have internet. I'm like, oh, this is good. Dude, that's the stuff.
Sweet internet.
All right, Tony. Tony.
Yeah, just Jessica Jones. I mean, it's weird, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the main. What's the actress's name that plays
Kristen Ritter?
Yeah, she's just perfect for that role. You know, it's just spot on casting for that type of character, so it's enjoyable to watch her.
Sonia was saying when we were watching it.
Yeah, it just I'm invested in the series just because of her. The side characters this season so far are just weird, and like I said, the story I don't know about it so far. Only a third of the way through it, so we'll see how it gets there. But I'm interested in. Yeah. But that's pretty much it for me. Just anticipating. I think it's the second to last episode of Dragon Ball Super coming up this week. So
for the season, right?
Well, until the next series is announced.
Oh, this is the end of
Super's done.
Yeah, Super's gonna be done.
Oh, I have to watch this. I have to watch the show now. Like, I kind of I don't have any drive until I know it's like something's ending like that, and I'm like, okay, now I can attack this and not have to worry about like what happened with Naruto is I got like entrenched in the delay of waiting for stuff and I just never got back to it. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. So, I don't blame you, but it's good because the next thing, which is the My Hero Academia, that's coming back, and they're taking half the year off before they come back to it and stuff. So
yeah, cool.
That'll be good.
Yeah. All right. I think that's going to wrap up 386 on the Moviecast. Thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please let us know what you would like to see for episode 400. We're looking for ideas. So, thanks. See you next week or on the Gamecast.